You've really opened my eyes there, because that's a really interesting way of putting it, is that a lot of fighters tend to go, right, well, we'll just consistently stay on, train with guys that are better than me. And that's all I've done, really. I've had a few guys that I've sparred and got the better of, but sometimes you come in the gym and you feel better than you do in other situations. So there's a saying that I really love, and it stays with me forever, and it goes something along the lines of, if you run with people that are slower than you, you might come first, and that might feel good. But if you run with people that are faster than you, you might come last, but your time will be better. So that kind of puts it perfectly, is that you've got to find that balance in that case, because what you've just explained to me there tells me that I actually need to find the balance of the two different scenarios, is that running with people that I know I'm faster than, so I can try out my skills and test my new skills and see how I can, perform different angles and attacks and things like that. More so in MMA, it's more technical for you guys, whereas boxing is just obviously more stand-up. But then the flip side of the coin is really putting your skills against someone that can move just as well as you can, is faster, more powerful. And one of my coaches, Ryan Mack, he's 27-1 now, and he's a fantastic boxer. Really, he'd eat any of these Misfits guys up. Yeah. He could fight all these Misfits guys in the same night in one card. We could just do he'd put them away in 3 rounds apiece, and just do 12 rounds. He's that kind of beast. So I get a lot of confidence in that. But then again, coming back in and fighting guys that I don't want to say lower than me, because every single time I've got in the boxing ring with someone, they've given me a good punch up in my camp. I don't really believe there's only sometimes when you're fighting someone that's truly amateur, if they're just a little bit scatty in the ring, they'll throw 4 right hands.
Yeah, they can be the toughest fights. The guys that don't fight the normal shapes.
Yeah.
But I know this firsthand, because when I was competing in the UFC, I was training in my gym in England, in Cambridge, at the Tsunami Gym, and I would outsource some training. I would go to certain places just to get rounds in, because weight classes and all that sort of stuff. But my regular guys were my regular guys. My regular guys were better than me. MMA is a bit different, because you have all the different disciplines. They were good at some disciplines and not so good at other disciplines. So you would have a variation of training partners. But then I moved to America, and I lived in San Diego, and I trained at Alliance under Eric Del Fiero, an amazing team. And it's I upgraded the level of training that I was having, and I was training with some of the best fighters in the world. I was training with a guy called Phil Davis, who became Bellator champion, super good. And he was a light heavyweight. I was a middleweight. He was one of the best light heavyweights in the world, and he was my training partner every single day.
Crazy, you were a middleweight, bro. That's ridiculous.
And training with Bill, I just got battered every session. So it's I was getting tougher and better in a way, but my confidence never. Every session was I used to use a system, like a traffic light system. We have a green session, a yellow session, and a red session. And every session was a red session. Yeah, and I would, you were talking about it earlier, I would push, I'd go every session twice a day, 6 days a week. I would never miss a session. I prided myself on not missing sessions, not being, but then every session was a red session. So I was never rested. I never went in confident, because the guys I was competing with were so good and such a high level. So I never had that. So what I'm saying, I moved to America, I had 3 fights in the UFC, while living in San Diego. I lost 2 split decisions, and I lost 1 fight where I got battered. But I believe all of those fights I lost because my confidence was low.
True.
Because I was just fighting the elite guys every day. And I was getting better, and I was getting tips, and I was improving, but I never got to just batter some guy and feel like the man. So sometimes I believe with fighting, training is 99% physical and 1% mental. But fighting on fight day is 99% mental and 1% physical, because you've done the work. You're 16 weeks in, you're in the best shape you could be in. The body's sorted. It's all about the mind now. So if you're only competing with this guy who's 27-1 and feeling like, then when you go in, you're doing repetition in rounds of you being defensive, you being worried, whereas, because again, when I fought Mark Munoz, who's a wrestler, I trained with Phil Davis every day for it, who's a wrestler. And I just got used to getting taken down. So I got really good at getting back to my feet, really good. But then when I fought Mark, I didn't even try and hit him. I was just so thinking, no, he's going to take me down, Then he took me down, I got up. And he took me down 11 times, and I got up 11 times. But I lost, because when we got to the feet, I just didn't do what I was good at, because I never had the confidence to do it, because I hadn't been training it. So I learned a lot from those experiences. And I think for the younger guys now fighting, I think it's super important is just to go with a guy, even if they're, obviously you don't take the piss, but you win, and you're confident, and you're cocky, and you move, and you feel good, and you're like asserting your dominance. And then once you go into the ring and you fight Aaron Chalmers, yeah, he might be better than you, but you still have that flow state where you feel good and you move right, rather than being like, oh, this guy's tough. Because when you spar with someone tough, you're like, oh, this guy's tough. You know, you go in with a whole different thing. So that would be my advice for you as well, and for everyone. Like, it's good to fight the tougher guy, but also fight the easier guy. Like, and win, and win dominantly, and feel good, and land those like mad angle shot, right hand, left hook to the body, kind of like things that are hard to land. You know what I mean? I think it's super, super important.